Hello my friends, welcome to my channel where I make Affinity fun and easy to learn. In this video I'll be showing you how to create light effects in flyers like this inside of Affinity. Alright? And if you've not subscribed to my channel, now is the best time to hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss any videos I'm dropping any time from now. Without having to say much, let's jump right into this video. So as you can see, I have my first flyer here. I have my flyer to the right, and of course they're in artboards, right? So to create an artboard, what you need to do is click on the artboard tool and click on this plus sign here to add an extra artboard. So you can use your arrow key to move this around, or you can use your artboard tool to move the artboards around, right? Select this one, move it around, right? So to create more artboards, name your artboards, you can watch the video I made about artboards. Alright, so as you can see, this is what we're trying to recreate, right? I'm going to show you how to create this and add the light effects. So to start with, I'm going to select my artboard and I'm going to give it a color, right? So this is the color, it's not white, this is the color. Alright, so this is the first thing to do. So the next thing I'm going to do is, of course, you know, when you're designing, starting from the foundation. So in the resource file, this is included. So I'm going to drag this and open it up in another document. Right, so this is the file. Let me close this up. And I'm just going to reduce it a bit, holding down Shift, make it a little bit smaller. Then copy this, Ctrl C. Go over to your documents. Make sure you're on the right artboard. Then Ctrl V or Command V if you're using a Mac to paste this here. You can see we have the same shape, so you can create this with your pen to actually get the shape, right? So that's the first thing to do. The next thing to do is to give it a color. So I'm just going to use my sampler to sample the color here, and that's it, right? So after I have sampled the color, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make it a little bit different. I'm going to duplicate this, Ctrl J. You can see I have two shapes. I'm going to move this upward like this. So I have small space in between. This is the space. So I'm going to select the two shapes like this. You can see selected the two of them. And I'm going to go over to my shape builder tool. Right, make sure it's on plus. I'm going to click this here like this to make a shape out of this. Right, so as you can see, I have another shape here. So what I'm going to do is very simple. I'm going to change the color of the shape, right? I'm going to revert this back to its natural color, right? I'm going to select this one and I'm going to place it. I'm going to use it for this. So I'm going to place it inside of this other one here, right? So I'm going to place it inside this one. So to do this, I'm just going to go to my layers panel and I'm just going to drag and drop inside, right? So we don't need this, so I'm going to trash this. Okay, so I'm going to select this, like I said, and I'm going to drag it inside this shape here. So to do that, I'm just going to drag like this and place it inside. As you can see, when I move it, it's already inside. That's why it's moving like this. You can see it's already inside. So I'm going to open it up, select this one. I'm going to go to Live Effects, select Gaussian Blur. And I'm going to add blur to it to create that effect that you're seeing. So make sure it's not too much like this. And click OK when you're done. Right, click OK when you're done. And of course, move it in place till you get this. Go and close this up, and of course let's create this shadow that you're seeing here. So to get this done, I'm going to use the ellipse tool. I'm going to draw certain shapes. The first one, the second one, and the third one like this. I'm going to select the three of them and I'm going to group them, but before then I'm going to change the color. I'm using this. right? So I'm going to group them, Ctrl G, and with this grouped, I'm going to live filter again. I'm going to select Gaussian blur. I'm going to take it down below, so I'm going to use Ctrl and the arrow beside the letter P. So select the Gaussian blur. I'm just going to increase it like this, increasing the radius till I get the highest, right? You can also change the color if you deem fit to a darker color like this, just like I am doing now, so that I can have the right color of shadow that I need. So now that I have this here, I'm just going to leave this. I have my shadow in place. Oops, increase the radius. Right, you can see how you can actually control it, that now that it's grouped together and all of that. So you can also move this around individually or as a group. Individually click on it and use your arrow key to move it down or up, as the case may be, or move it sideways like this. Make sure you use your arrow key on your keyboard to do that. Okay, sweet stuff. So let's go on to create this object here, right? So the simplest way to achieve this is very, very simple. Click on the ellipse tool, draw an ellipse like this, and change the color. This is the color we're using. You want to rotate this, right? So the first thing I'll do here is I'm going to go over to Live Effects, Gaussian Blur, and I'm going to increase the radius. Not too much, please. Not too much like this. Somewhere around here is good. Click on the X when you're done. Right? I'm going to immediately switch over to the Pixel Studio like this. And inside of the Pixel Studio, I'm going to add a layer mask to it. I'm going to select my brush. Make sure your foreground color is set to black, and I'm just going to paint on this, like this, and at the edge here like this, to have this done. You can see it's very, very easy, very easy. So somewhere around here is good, so I can switch over to my Vector Studio. Switch over to the Vector Studio. Then I can duplicate this, reduce the opacity like this if it's too much. Then I can duplicate this, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, and move this to the places that I want them to be, somewhere around here. And I'm also going to move it somewhere around here, but this one is going to be bigger. Right, rotate this like this, and this is going to be bigger like this. Easy peasy. So one last one. So I'm just going to have this one here, and I'm going to take it somewhere here to have this. Okay, so now that this is done, let's move on to the text, which is the elephant in the room, right? So I'm going to select my text tool, my type tool, and I'm just going to type this deals. I'm using the Futura font, right? If you don't get this, it should be part of your, it's part of your system, like automatically part of your system, regardless of what you're using. So to close this space up, make sure you come here, and I set mine to -90. So if your own is somewhere around here, you can change it manually and put -90 instead. So I'm just going to cancel this and type 90 instead and click enter when I'm done to get this right, because we don't want too much space between the letters. So I'm just going to make it bigger like this. Make it bigger. Yeah, somewhere around here is good. So deals. So the first thing I'm going to do to this text is I'm going to take it up, hold down Command or Control and click on the arrow key after the P, which is the right arrow key, to take this up. And I'm just going to duplicate this, right? So I've duplicated this. I'm just going to bring in this image. It is part of the resource file. Make sure you click the link in the description of this video to get all of these files. So I'm just going to have this here, and as you can see, I'm just going to drag it to this layer to place inside, right? You can see it's inside here already. So the first thing I need to do is I'm going to change the blend mode to hard. No, vivid lights. Yes, vivid light works best. As you can see, it's not perfect. So to make it more like the image on the left, right, we're going to click on liquify, and I'm going to liquify this. Liquify. So we're going to liquify this, and of course, pushing. What we're just doing basically with the pixel is we are pushing and bending the pixels, right? So I think somewhere around here is good. When you're done, just click OK, and voila, you have this. Now to finish off this effect, make sure you click on the one in the bottom. You can see the duplicate text, right? Go over to light filter, Gaussian blur, like this, and make sure you increase the radius to give it that good amount of glow. All right. And I know you're asking, why didn't you use outer glow? If you use outer glow, you won't get the same level of effect that I'm getting, right? So that's why I like duplicating and manipulating them like that. So let's move on to this flyer, right? So the first obvious thing here is to give the artboard a color. So select the artboard, right? And go over to my color, use the eyedropper to drag it, and select the color I want. Right, so now let's get this shape here. So to get it, click and drag like this. Right, now to get an insight how to use the pen tool, I created a video for this, and I'm going to create more videos to explain how you can use the pen tool, because you need to know how to use the pen tool. Hold down shift to end into a straight line like this, click and click here like this to create this shape. Right, so you can select the color, sample this color here, and make sure you remove the outline. So you have the shape here. I'm just going to add another one to it, which is shape at the back. So click, 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 and click here like this. And I'm just going to use my shortcut, the control and the left arrow key, to take this downward. Right, you can see it's very, very easy that way. So click on these two guys and remove the outline like this. Okay, so now that you have this in place, shift this here like this, and let's bring the elements, right? So I'm just going to go over to my source file to bring in the elements. So I'm starting with this, right? So I'm going to go to my resource file. I'm going to drag this in. This is it here. Minimize that. I'm going to rotate this like this. bring this here, make this bigger, bring this here like this, and just going to drag it, place it inside. Make sure you are placing and you're not clipping it. So when you drag it here on top, you are placing it inside. All right, make sure you don't forget. Change the blend mode to overlay and reduce the opacity like this to make it more realistic. And just on top of this, create a new layer, and I'm going to switch over to my Pixel Studio like this. Now this is where the action will take place. So I'm just going to select this color here for the highlights. Close this up, and I'm going to select my brush, B for brush, right? Make sure you have the settings 100 and the hardness is set to 0 like this. Every other thing stays the same. So what you can now do is add the lights. Make sure your foreground color is on top, and you can add the, now think of the Pixel Studio as your Photoshop. In fact, it is your Photoshop, right? So I'm just going to add the lights like this, and easy peasy, you can see how it's coming out well, right? So moving on to the next shape, select the next shape, and I'm going on to bring in the same thing. So the same background here like this. I'm just going to rotate this like this, move it in place, make it bigger like this, drag it, and make sure you don't use it as a clipping mask, right? That's the mistake. So drag it and use it as a placeholder, place it inside like this. So you are not dragging to the left, right? You are Ctrl Z, you are dragging to the right as placing it inside. Hope you're clear on that. So select this, and first and foremost, change the blend mode to an overlay, and then you can reduce the opacity like this. Okay, cool. Create a new layer above this, and select a brush and apply something like this. Something like this. You can make it bigger, and so that you can create something extra like this, because this place should receive more light, right? In the order of things, you can reduce your opacity like this, and you're good to go. Now another thing I like to do is, let me switch back to the Vector Studio to add more texture to this, is to click on the shape itself, which is, let me close this off so you don't get confused. So clicking on this shape now, or on this one, right? Let me start with this. You can go over to the color and switch it to noise by just clicking on it, and add more noise to it, right? And add more noise to it like this. So add more noise to it like this. So at this point, let's move on to, as you can see, it doesn't have any outline, all right? But let's set this back to default so that we don't have So let's create the light effects. So with this, I'm going to use the same color. I'm just going to click once here and click once here to create the light effects that you're seeing here. All right, so switch over to Vector Studio, and of course now you now have light inside of it. So let's create this. So to create that box and to create the effects, I'm going to use the rectangle to drag. This was what I was trying to avoid. So go over to noise and restore this back, and click this to switch it back to opacity. Select the four corners and make it rounded like this. And move this up. Now extend it a little bit. Now what you're going to do here is I'm going to switch over to the rounded corner tool or the round corner tools. Yes, click on this part here, hold down Shift and Control or Shift and Command. So when you hold down Shift and, let me take this back, click on this part here, hold down Shift and Command or Control, click on this part, hold down Shift and Command to take this out, to create this perspective effect here like this. Reduce the size like this. Click on FX, Inner Glow, change the color, something like this. This is what we use. And increase the radius like this, right? And what you can do is turn down the opacity if it's too much, right? You can also play with the intensity too, but I liked mine to be like this, and I'm just going to click out. So you can see you have your effects going on for you. So you can take it to the back of these guys here, and your design is almost done, right? You can reduce this, hold down Shift to reduce this. You can create another one on top, and by this you've created your nice designs and you've mastered the light effect inside here, right? In the next video I'm going to be talking about more light effects and how to use your pen tool to create shapes. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.
With over 1,000 premium fonts, over 100 high-quality PSD flyer templates, over 700 icons, over 3,000 premium stock photos, 3,000 plus high-resolution backgrounds, 1,000 plus 3D and PNG assets, editable PSD templates, and lots more. If you're a creative designer, UI, UX, or web designer, the Smart Designer's graphics assets will make your life much more easier.